Hey there, this is Marissa with Marissa Moments. So I have a word for you. Now, this is something that I wrote down or I typed out on August 31st of 2023 at 4 o'clock a.m. on the nose, right? Central Standard Time, US. So I am going to be reading. I've recently realized that a lot of us suffer from arrested development. We've experienced so much trauma and pain that we just stopped evolving. Instead, we clung to that innocence that preceded the trauma and have addressed life through immaturity, pain, and resentment. Then, in order to confirm our existence, we began to cling to others who had the same wounds so that we could validate our refusal to address life. We put our stakes down in our anger and set camp with our resentments. Then, dressed in the facade of growth while applauding anything and anyone that refused to heal, we quietly judged others who were in the same mental emotional state and applauded anyone or anything that even hinted to the notion of everyone being to blame, everyone else being to blame. We pursed our lips in agreement, and while are in assigning our need for healing to others. So, when you have those conversations, maybe you're listening to a prophet, maybe you're listening to this message right now, and someone else comes to mind. And all of a sudden, yep, she talking about so and so. She talking about him. She talking about her. When in reality, the message is for you, right? We are sitting in the front of the mirror. We're sitting in front of a mirror, but we refuse to see ourselves. Instead, we assign our reflection to others because I know you're not talking about me, right? God is shifting my heart, right? God is doing some things. God is shaking things up. And so it's time to catch up, right? We have been pushed towards evolution, but we have been in the world and clinging on to, hanging on to, and all those types of things, anything that brings us back into that spiral or into dissension, because that's what we're comfortable with. So the bottom line here is, are you in a state of arrested development? Perhaps you need to grow up. Perhaps you need to face those demons and those shadows that hurt you and wounded you, because your hurt, your trauma, your the fact that you were made a victim in those moments is valid. It's very valid. However, you can make the conscious choice of whether you decide to turn that into your personality, whether you turn that into who you actually are from here on out. Now, I'm not saying that this journey is easy. I'm not saying it's easy to look at yourself in the mirror and see all that darkness that we usually throw onto others. No, it's definitely not easy. And sometimes it's not even possible to do it on your own. So it is, if it's necessary, to reach out for help, but make sure you're reaching up, right? And not reaching down to somebody who's already in the struggle, still in the struggle, or what have you, or somebody who's across from you who's still in that same mindset, right? You have to reach up to people who have already been there and done that and tried the veil, and then they have already been in the process of healing that specific wound. You have to find your reflection in a positive way. Not only your reflection as it currently relates, but your reflection as where you want to be. Because when you see that when you start looking at someone and say, you know what, I want to be where they are, I want to feel how they feel, then that is spirit speaking to you through them and giving you a reflection of your true potential. But it's up to you to reach out. And yes, I understand that we often want to do things on our own because that's how we've been trained up. That's how our toxic training has taught us to be. However, again, there is no blame and shame in reaching out for help. Whatever that looks like for you is what it looks like for you. And you will know if it's for you because it will resonate, right? It will spark something in your heart that says, that sounds like me. Or that person reminds me of who I used to be or who I want to be or any of those types of things, right? But I'm not going to keep going on and on because hopefully you picked up what I'm putting down. And now just remember, because I'm not here to change your mind. I'm not here to change your mind. I'm not trying to put my beliefs, my thoughts, what I receive on you. However, I am here to give an offering, and that offering is a new perception. That offering is a new vantage point of possibilities. So just think about it, and that's it.